This session is about helping me help you and helping yourself help yourself. And this is important. You cannot rely solely on everybody else to test stuff. Last session, we went over this pissed off buyers, pissed off sellers. And the notion was we're looking at something where when serious buyers or sellers, and we define it as serious based on when they come in with a limit order. So serious buy limits, all right, and sell limit orders. They're serious and they're trying to buy it or they're trying to sell it with a limit order, but they do not get filled. They do not get filled. Maybe for seconds, maybe for minutes, but they do not get filled. That's the whole premise of this middle vertical. I'll show you on a live chart in a second. So the notion or the thought is, think about yourself. If you're looking to get long and you bid it pretty close to where the market is and you don't get filled and you expect it to get filled, you're probably a little pissed. If you bid it to try to cover a short for a winner or a loser and you miss it and market rallies away, you're probably pretty pissed off and anxious. So number one, are you serious? And number two, are you unfulfilled? You missed it. You didn't get filled, but you probably want it. Now, this bucket, if you will, is constantly getting filled and emptied. So the read isn't black and white. That's part of why we're testing it, trying to find out good ways to use it and where it could be helpful. But this is what I'm encouraging everybody listening to this, either now or in the future with this tool. You gotta now, maybe last week I said, don't bother looking at it and trying to help. If you got time, or you record your session, and this is a better way to do it, record the whole session and go back on the recording as part of your review and test it that way. What could help you with this tool find better locations? Because if you get a lot of pissed off serious buyers as the market's breaking, and maybe we could find pissed off buyers begin to get pissed off, that could be the bottom of a move. Because at some point, buyers not getting filled anymore is what makes a bottom a bottom. Buyers are getting filled as price going lower. They're getting, bid it, fill it, bid, fill, bid, fill. The moment where they're not is maybe it is the turn, the balance turning into an imbalance. They're not getting satisfied. So I encourage people, if you know what this is, and it's serious buyers or sellers putting in limit orders and not getting filled, and the ability to compare the two to help with locations. Do it real time? No. But if you're recording your session, you could test it yourself, and then it'll make it more and better of a collaborative effort when people say, I seem to find help with this way or that way. If you wait for somebody else to do all the work, you'll be waiting longer. So dig into it. Now that you kind of have a sense of what it might be, I'm going to tell you a little bit of what I found to be helpful, but it's been a minimal amount of time I've tested it based on, my mother-in-law passed away last Friday and going through all that. That's around when we're testing it. So I've been kind of touch and go with looking at it. This is going to take a little longer for me to even have Dave put some filters on it. So let me pause this share 1 second and show you the live chart. Let's get rid of that. Pull that up. Resume the share. You guys should see the puke tool, right? You guys see my screen and illustrations where it's a chalkboard at the top? Good. All right. So now it's the chart, live chart. You guys see the live chart? Now the middle vertical on the bottom, not the top, just the middle at the bottom, is showing these pissed off buyers green, sellers red. It's a 15-minute after 15 minutes, they go away. Now, the bottom numbers, okay? The best or the price with the most contracts come here at the bottom right. The price with the most contracts that missed it on the sell side, the price with the most contracts on the buy side. So pretty balanced. What I'm looking at is what number is high. And when you start to see that high number not getting filled. What we don't want with this tool, and this might be the case, and it might be a tool that we throw in the garbage, but I don't think so yet. We don't want a tool that has price, if you look at this dot, and the tool going up together. That's using price to predict price. There's going to be no help with that. There has to be a little lead lag. That's all. Thank you, Mike. So there has to be a little lead lag with it. Something like this. If you just get the visual, something the tool does and then price goes up. Tool goes first and then price. We're not trading the tool. We're trading the price. There's some indicators out there. You guys are familiar with them. All the junky indicators where if you were trading the indicator, you can make $1 million a day. Price goes up, you buy the indicator because then it follows it. The indicator lags what it's supposed to be leading. Well, you're not trading the indicator, trading the price. So you need price to be led by something. And just understand, when you understand why price moves, you can understand when buyers aren't getting satisfied as quick as they were. And you got to, there's a bit of a feel to this. If it comes in and there's like 200 contracts, which would be big on the sell side, and they don't get filled or takes them a while, that could put pressure on the market. If he comes in with 200 and gets filled right away, showing an appetite for buyers. These are limit orders. And they're limit orders that are not filled, but when they came in, I'm not going to tell you exactly how we do this, but when they came in, mark my words, they were serious. When they originated as a seller buy limit, they were serious. Trust me. Someone's asking, is this the same as pulling and stacking? No, I mean, not really, because that could happen anywhere up and down. So everybody in here has known me long enough where you could take me at my word that these are serious buyers and sellers on limit orders without me telling you exactly why we've come to the conclusion that they're serious. And so we know that, and we know that they're not filled. That's how I want you guys to test it and use it. In real time, no. Continue to use the OPP and the pukes. But most of you guys now are recording your screen so that you could go over it like this. Here's the recording. Just from today. So you could, this is the feature that allows you to do what like the NFL teams do. When they go over formations, they go back and forth on the track bar. It's harder for you guys to follow when I'm doing it because I'm doing it. But when you actually have control of the video, you go back and forth. It just helps you see it when you just know which way you're going to go instead of waiting to see, well, what's he doing? Fast forward, rewinding, what the hell is he doing? All right. So just pay attention to this middle. And what we're trying to see is, when could there be a bottom? Does it flash and show us anything when there's a bottom? You know what I'm saying? And when you continue to have sellers come in and not getting filled, keeps pressure on it. But again, it's moving along with price. I'm not one that just gets excited about stuff for no reason. You got to be able to criticize any newer thing that you're doing. You got to criticize it at first with based on, is it just using price to predict price? We're not trading the indicator, we're trading the price. And do you see the same thing when it does create a bottom as you do when it doesn't? I'm not looking right here. These are stuck shorts, much better tool right now than this. But if we come in, you could see that the number started to get above 200 of the buy limit orders that were getting unfilled. They're serious buyers and they're not filled. They get anxious. I don't think I got to get into why a serious buyer who's not filled would be anxious, right? I don't have to get into that. We know why a buyer that doesn't get filled but was serious would become anxious. 3 people bid on the house. Once you find out 2 other people are bidding on that house, guess what? You want it more, don't you? When you realize you might not be able to get something inside of us wants it more. We had to do with everything I had going on this week. We had to do our fantasy football drafts. And so we did it last night, and everybody accommodated me because I couldn't meet them. And we did it remotely, and it was an auction draft, and it was done last night. And I'm bringing this up because it was kind of a cool way to do an auction draft. Instead of yelling out, I'll bid 14, someone says 15, someone says 18. It was just clicking when you nominate it, right? And my thought was, it's just, this is make this falls right in line with what I'm trying to explain. My thought was, if you wait to the last second and someone's got the top bid and then you bid, you more piss them off and they think they had them. So they're going to bid more because they thought they had them. They want them. And I went the other route. If I wanted a guy and I wanted to chase people in, I just kept hitting the nominate button or the bid button. Bid. It was actually called offer. I just kept hitting it, kept being the best bid. I wanted people to know they have no chance of getting it. And mentally they'd fall off and bid less. You don't wait, try to play games, just bid. Let them know you want it. And then if you think they're racing you, you back off. But you don't make someone think they have it and then pull it from them. Unless you want them to pay higher. But I'm bidding for a player. I don't want them to try to buy higher to get out. So if this is indeed what it's showing us, you can understand that serious buyers who are close to getting filled, but don't, would be anxious. I'll explain it really quick, Michael, but last week's video probably do a better job. People who put in a buy limit and are serious, but don't get filled. Green, people who put in a sell limit, but don't get filled. Red. I'm not going to get into the exact specific of why we know they're serious. But what we're trying to do is have something happen in here to predict that the bottom or the top might be in. And at first I would think it is when it flashes green and doesn't get filled as fast. That tempo slows. Buyers aren't getting filled as fast. But you can't say, oh yeah, it's going to go up now because the damn thing already went up. Does that make sense? Yeah, this number right in here, this number represent the largest number of contracts at one of the prices, not cumulative. This is the price that missed with the most contracts. So if you go right in here and you see right in here how it bulges out, that should create more downside. If there's consistency with it, just for a head start, then it keeps you in a short or maybe helps get you short. Oh, look at that one. Bam. Remember, this is not a long. These are longs and shorts. These are buyer sellers. Big difference. This is the biggest buyer that came in and missed it. Look at the number, 341. The market runs right from there. It was the beginning of that pop. Yeah, it came back down through it, but all we're looking for is head starts. It doesn't have to be 10-point head starts. So that was the biggest one that we've seen. Now, if you don't go through it like this, you're not going to catch it. You're not going to work on your craft. And so I wish that you guys could see the text messages and conversations Dave and I have had over the last 8 months, 10 months, and just always, I mean, listen, you follow me around when I'm walking my dog, and you probably call the police because I'm talking to myself. My dog probably knows more about trading than, not you guys, but than most of the retail audience, because he hears me talk about if they came in and they didn't, those things like that, and just constantly talking to myself to come up with these ideas. And I'll text Dave and say, don't respond to this. I just want to get it down, documented it. So I would really like you guys that record your screens to dedicate some time to see and fish out where it can help. That's it. I agree, Michael. That's where I think it would be most beneficial. Maybe in concert with something else. And it's like shorts come in towards the low and the greens come in on the pissed off tool. I'm not going to call this the poo, pissed off orders. Not a big fan. But pissed off traders, maybe we call it pot. Either way, the pissed off guys, what someone's saying in here, Michael's saying in here, when you get shorts that possibly are stuck and the greens come in, something to look for. Have you noticed that to be helpful? Or are you saying it would make sense for that to be helpful? This is the feedback that I want to get. And this is the collaboration that is golden, because we are, which one, Michael? I asked 2 questions. Sorry. You guys are finally part of a group that's got the best information to analyze. If there's better information out there, bring it to the group. Tell us what it might be to help make better discretionary decisions. Yeah, so he's actually seen this help where qualify a low, shorts come in towards the bottom of a move, then the greens light up. And this is something that doesn't get a lot of attention except for the people that use it. Guy mentions the Tom bar in the hole. Someone says is a miracle worker. So when you get a move lower on light volume, like in here is a Tom bar. But this, I'm telling you guys, don't waste your time don't stare from now on. Don't look at charts and think that you're working static charts. Think that you're getting screen time. The only time you're really working is if you got something like this. To go back on static charts and think that on the weekend you're going to plow through something to pick up something, that's too dusty and old. Get into something like this where you could see, you can't just see longs come in and reds come in, because reds are always going to come in, but big reds. You could follow it by the number here at the bottom. You see this little flash here? Boom. This green came in quick and it bounced. That was short lived, but it did create the bounce. I'm just looking at in here. And if you go back and see it spike right in. Where was it? Right in there. Here, let's take it to the beginning and just go through real fast. Oh, you see it kick out a lot right there. Few tick head start. Just go through it real fast and see big moments where it kicks out and then go back to it. Right there was the best one, 343. It's the one we've talked about. And so think about what that is, 15.5. Bunch of people come in at 15.5. They were serious to buy it. They were so close. They didn't get it. Yes, Raja, that's what you need to practice and look for. So if the buyers come in and get cracked right away, that's an appetite for more selling. So it's like a tempo type of thing also. I'm telling you, this is, I don't know how good it's going to be yet, but I really feel it's better than reading and trying to look at the dome. I'm trying to simplify reading the dome and the footprint all down into these verticals for everyone. I get people to the point at some point where we don't even need to know where price is. We could predict it without this chart just by listening to the music of a couple of these verticals, because these are other people's intentions, positions, and anxiety. There's no mathematical stuff in here. So the point is, this be better than reading the dome. These aren't resting offers, by the way, and resting bids. They are resting offers and resting bids, but not the exact same ones as you see on your dome, because these are unique. And they're unique because of the ability to quantify them as being serious. You have to take my word for it that they're serious. So they're not just all the resting offers and resting bids you see on the dome. They're unique. The middle, like of what? Price? If you knew it was the middle. I just hope a number of you guys do that, work on it as we take it slow. Put in a little time to see. And I know there have been a couple of examples of people, I don't know if they're using it consistently, but started to use it and it's been helpful. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. All right. Let's end it there. See you guys in Discord or in the room. We'll see you in one of two of those places, or maybe both.